The alien woman awoke to the sound of leaves rustling above her, the pale light of Earth's dawn filtering through the canopy. Her form was distinctly otherworldly, a delicate yet powerful presence wrapped in translucent garments that shimmered in the dappled light. Her skin was an iridescent shade somewhere between blue and silver, and her eyes, deep as oceans, flickered with hints of starlight. She had come here seeking sanctuary after her vessel was damaged upon entering the planet's atmosphere. As she drifted in and out of consciousness, she realized she was stranded and wounded, with no immediate way of contacting her people. A sense of fear stirred within her, tempered by an even stronger curiosity. She had heard of humans, though she had never seen one. Their world was a mysterious realm, full of dense, untamed forests and unfamiliar dangers. She shivered, unsure if it was due to her injury or the unknown world around her. In the distance, the sound of footsteps approached. She froze, her large, gleaming eyes darting in the direction of the sound. A human male emerged, stepping carefully through the undergrowth. He was tall and broad-shouldered, with rough hands and kind, wary eyes that softened when he spotted her. His gaze took in her fragile state, the torn edges of her attire, and the faint, shimmering blood that seeped from her wound. He crouched beside her, reaching into his pack to retrieve some dried food and water. "I don't know if you understand me, but I can help," he said softly, his voice gentle and reassuring. The woman studied him, wary at first, then nodded faintly. She took the water gratefully, sipping with closed eyes, allowing herself a brief moment of surrender to the kindness offered. They spent hours together as he tended to her injuries, speaking quietly and guiding her to chew on the food he provided. His simple words were strange yet comforting, his hands careful as he patched her up. As night began to fall, she felt a strength stirring within her, though she knew she was still far from healed. A question had been forming on her lips since she awoke, a question she hadn't had the courage to ask. But as the warmth of his fire bathed her in a gentle glow, she found herself whispering, "Take me with you?" The human looked at her, surprise and an unspoken question flashing in his eyes. Yet, as he gazed at the otherworldly beauty of this stranded soul, he knew his answer before she had even finished speaking. The forest darkened around them as the stars emerged, and the man carefully helped her to her feet. She winced as she moved, her injury still aching, and he reached out to steady her. His warmth seeped through her skin, grounding her in a way she hadn't expected. "What's your name?" he asked, glancing down at her with a mix of awe and concern. She hesitated. Names were complex among her people. They were as much emotions and colors as they were sounds. Yet she attempted to replicate the sound her name made in her own language, a soft hum that echoed like a breeze through hollow glass. The man's brow furrowed as he tried to repeat it, but she only laughed softly, shaking her head. Understanding that it would be difficult for him to pronounce, she touched his hand gently and said, "You can call me Lyra." He nodded, seemingly relieved. "I'm Ethan," he said, his voice soft but steady. He wrapped an arm around her shoulders as they walked, guiding her carefully over roots and through brush until they reached the edge of the forest. In the clearing, Ethan's small cabin came into view. It was modest but inviting, nestled among the trees with a faint light glowing from the window. Lyra looked at it with wide eyes, a mixture of curiosity and caution evident on her face. He pushed the door open, holding it for her as she stepped inside. She marveled at the strange objects that filled his home: books, tools, trinkets, and strange devices. The smell of earth and wood was strong here, comforting in a way she couldn't explain. Ethan gestured to a soft couch by the fire and, as she lowered herself onto it, he wrapped a blanket around her shoulders. He knelt by the fire, adding wood to the flames, and soon warmth filled the room. "Rest here," he murmured, his voice a soothing balm. "I'll take care of you." Over the next few days, Lyra grew stronger. Ethan taught her bits of his language, her quick mind picking up words and phrases with ease. She explained what she could about her own world, though much of it was difficult to convey without the intricate sounds and gestures of her language. Still, Ethan listened intently, his eyes never leaving hers as she spoke of stars and strange lands he could hardly imagine. Each day, they ventured into the forest together. He showed her plants, animals, and streams hidden away from the eyes of most people. In turn, she shared small bits of alien wisdom, a plant that eased pain, a technique for quieting one's mind. One evening, as they returned from their walk, Lyra paused at the edge of the forest, gazing at the sky. Her expression was distant, sorrowful. "I should go home," she whispered, her voice barely audible. She looked at Ethan, her gaze filled with longing and sadness. "But my people, they might never know what happened to me. I am lost to them." Ethan's hand found hers, his grip warm and steady. "You're not lost here, Lyra. You have a place here, if you want it." Her eyes searched his, filled with a mixture of emotions she could barely comprehend. This strange world had shown her kindness and beauty she had not known possible. She didn't want to leave, but a sense of duty tugged at her heart. "Would you take me with you?" she asked, her voice trembling. Ethan's expression softened, a gentle smile touching his lips. "Yes. I'll be by your side, wherever you go." Days turned to weeks, and the bond between them grew stronger, weaving through their days like a quiet melody. They lived in harmony, sharing stories, laughter, and moments of silence that held more meaning than words could express. Each night, Lyra looked to the stars, feeling the pull of her home but finding herself bound more tightly to this human, this world that had shown her compassion and understanding. One evening, as they sat together by the fire, Lyra looked at Ethan with a question that had been building in her heart. "Do you regret it?" she asked softly. "Helping me, letting me stay?" He looked at her, his gaze intense and unwavering. "No." Not for a moment. A sense of peace settled over her, and in that moment, she made her decision. She would stay with him, live alongside him in this world of strange and wondrous beauty. For she had found something here more precious than all the stars. As the seasons changed, they became inseparable, each finding a home in the other's arms. And every night, as they watched the stars together, Lyra whispered her thanks to the universe for guiding her to this world, to this man who had given her a place to belong. In the end, it wasn't the forests, the stars, or even the call of her distant home that held her here. It was him,